Hi, my name is Yulan, and I'm a developer advocate for Data Studio. In this video, I'm going to talk about the message that Data Studio sends a community visualization. As a reminder, Data Studio community visualizations allow you to create custom components that integrate seamlessly with your Data Studio dashboards. In a previous video, we talked about what happens when you load a community visualization in a report. As a reminder, the manifest path is entered, a bunch of stuff happens, and then Data Studio sends a post message to the component's iframe. We're going to focus in on this part, where Data Studio sends a post message with data, style, and interactions information. For extra clarity, I do want to emphasize that the information sent by Data Studio actually passes through a transform from the DS component JavaScript helper library, and I'm going to be talking about the transformed message. This message has 5 keys: fields, tables, style, interactions, and theme. The fields key is essentially the metadata for the information in your visualization. It's an object of fields keyed by their data element ID, which is defined in the visualization config. Here I've called it the config ID. Each config ID corresponds to a list of fields, and the number of fields in the list corresponds to the number of data fields a report editor slots into the space defined by a data element. Inside each of the fields, you have an ID, which is a unique Data Studio generated string, the human readable name, the type of the field, and the concept type, which is either dimension or metric. Tables is normally what we call the core of the data you want in a visualization. If you were building a table visualization, for example, tables would consider the information that would be in the rows. The exact format of tables depends on the transform you pick as a DS component option. There are 2 built-in transforms, object format and table format, which are optimized to map easily to the data format expected by different JavaScript visualization libraries. Both transforms, however, contain 2 things: default tables, which is the information from any visualization, and comparison, which is where comparison information will show up if date comparison ranges are configured in the visualization. Style contains the information associated with the report editor selected style. The style objects are indexed by their config ID, which is the style element ID defined in the visualization. So here, reverse color and fill color are style element IDs. Value corresponds to the report editor selected value, and default value corresponds to the default value set in the config. Note that color style elements have an object as their value, with the actual hex color returned in the color property. Interactions contains information about whether this visualization is configured to interact with other dashboard components. If no interactions are defined in the config, this will be an empty object. However, if interactions are defined, the interactions config ID will correspond to the config ID of the interactions element in the config. And if the checkbox is checked, type will be filter. And if data is non-empty, the visualization is currently acting as a filter, and the data will reflect the current filter state. Theme contains the theme style object. I won't go through the whole object here, but it includes report theme information like font family and accent fill color and theme font color. So in summary, the message includes fields, tables, style, interactions, and theme. So in this video, we did a deep dive into the information that Data Studio passes to a community visualization, which allows you to transform raw data into charts, stories, and insights. For more information, visit developers.google.com/datastudio/visualization and connect with us on social media using the hashtag DataStudioDevs.